Again, Buddy against his old team, Hawthorn and Sydney. Two great mates, almost best mates, and John Longmire and Alistair Clarkson. With the Cup tonight at the Coaches Awards, it's got everything. It's a promoter's dream.
It has. John Longmire awarded the AFL Coaches Association Coach of the Year, so congratulations to him. Head-to-head.
Beat Clarko by one vote, I think.
Good. Well, head-to-head Clarko, 7 wins to Horse Longmire's 3. It has got everything, Lloydie. We had a good look at from a statistical point of view. What did you make of some of these numbers? There are some stark contrasts between the two teams.
Well, they've got their own unique brands of football, but it's been good enough to get them to the last dance and the last two. And I think Sydney have a game style that is built for playing finals footy. That is kicking long. Hawthorn like to go sideways, use the short chipping. But you look at the efficiency inside forward 50, and that's where Hawthorn come into their own. And, Gaz, it's where they beat Sydney last time around.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have a look at some of those strengths as well. Look, what I guess stats can't always tell you is just how much pressure has been able to be generated by this Sydney side over the journey. And it was on great display in this preliminary final. Their closing speed, not necessarily to get a statistic, just to lay pressure on the opposition, was as good as I've seen. I reckon North Melbourne got the shock of their life. They'd been terrific and won 2 great finals, but this was another level. Look at the chase there from Buddy Franklin. Now, it doesn't result in a stat for Buddy, but it made him go backwards. It put him under pressure. They had no time and no space throughout the course of the night, North Melbourne, and that's what I took out of it.
And there's 3 points in this with 6 minutes to go, and they spooked them at this stage and kicked about 3 or 4 in that 6 minutes. Game over.
And the other thing when you're there on that night is to watch them run 2 ways. People talk about 2-way football. Well, have a look at this. This is Garry, who I thought was just superb on the night. Look at the time clock here. It's 12 minutes, just going under 12 minutes. This is him running forward with explosive pace. The kick wasn't great. As a result of the kick, look at the time. This is only 20 seconds later. He's the bloke getting back and making the spoil in the back half. And I spoke to John Longmire on radio the week, and he said that's what we pride ourselves on, our ability to work as hard one way or the other.
Last time it was the third quarter, the different tactics they tried against the Swans that dismantled them in that blistering third quarter. You picked up some things at the time.
Well, Nick Smith rarely gets exposed, and what they did was they isolated, rough up the ground. You see him, in the corner of the screen there. Richards is wondering what to do. They went Bruce. This was brilliant, this one. Pagan's paddock style. Look how vulnerable Nick Smith is there. So this was Alistair Clarkson at his coaching best the last time they met, which got Hawthorn over the line.
And I didn't see any weakness from Sydney, really, on Friday night. The only area of slight vulnerability was in the key defensive post. I thought Teddy Richards on occasion looked a little bit shaky. And Ruff, we know what he did the next night. He kicked 6 goals. He was formidable. He kicked 4 goals, 4 in this outing. He had 8 shots at goal against Teddy Richards. And if it's the one area where you're looking for something, you may be thinking, can Ruff get a hold of Teddy Richards and Grundy with Gunston or whoever the matchup is?
It's a good point. When you get ball movement coming in like this, anyone's going to be dangerous. Then you look down the other end and it's Gibbo who will get the job on Lance Franklin. I've got huge concerns, Caro, for him because we saw what Buddy did to Scotty Thompson. I don't think Gibbo's any bigger, really, than Scotty Thompson in the size he is. So I think he'll monster him. And even there's a couple of edits coming up, where this is a snap. That's Buddy's freakish ways. But this last goal he kicks on Gibbo, just too big, too powerful, too quick. So unless he gets some support and their midfielders up and about, I think Buddy's pretty much unstoppable against any of the Hawks defenders on the weekend, Karen.
Well, Brian Lake's obviously going to be crucial and he's come good just at the right time. But the